We're here with Adbert Alzolay. And Adbert, first of all, how busy have you been this offseason? What's it been like for you?
I've been really busy spending time with family. I feel that I spent 5 years without going back home to Venezuela to see my family. So this year, me and my wife, we made it our priority. We went right after the season. We went back Arizona. I start back to my training, and then for the holidays, first week of December, we flew to Venezuela, and then we spent the whole holidays out there. So it was great. It was great being back home. The weather, amazing. It's just tropical weather out there. So it was a really, really nice time out there with my family.
It's got to be emotional, right? Like not seeing your family for 5 years. I mean, how tough is that?
Oof. It's a lot of it's a lot of mental involved on it, because one of the reasons I didn't go back for these many years was because here I was able to get all my training and everything. Everything was on time and on point out here and out there, because all the country problems that they're having right now in Venezuela, it was kind of difficult for me to get good training during the off season, because you gotta be in a lot of different places. You gotta go here, you gotta go there. So here in America or back in Arizona, the Cox Complex, you have everything in one place. So I started doing my off season out there, and then after COVID hit, we just couldn't try to go back and see family again. So that was 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after that, it just got even more difficult to go back home. But this time around, when we got there, as soon as the airplane landed, I got goosebumps right away. I was like, I can't believe 5 years went this fast. You're seeing all the people. My mom and my dad is still the same guys. They haven't changed at all. But you see, in 5 years, a lot of things changed out there. So, but it was exciting for me to go back and spend time with family.
And Wilson is someone that's talked about the problems in the country and just with family and stuff like that. Having him, able to talk to him, and did that help you kind of through this period of time where you weren't able to go back?
Oh yeah. Just my whole family is still out there too. So we will just talk about the situation. How was the situation out there? But Willie, he went there the last 2 years, I believe. Mm-hmm. But he will go for a little bit in and out. But still, there is in the middle of the country, yeah, everything looks normal. But when you look around, it's just a lot of things going on,
Yeah. Well, so on the baseball side of things, that's great that you were able to go back finally. But on the baseball side of things, have you kept busy baseball activities wise?
Oh yeah,
this off season.
The grind never stops. I took probably 1 week off right after the season, and then we start back to training. But when you play baseball, when you do this, it's a everyday job. The day you think okay, I'm where I need to be, then everything start falling apart. So for me, it's just staying in the same routine. Having that consistency there, day by day, is what is gonna make my arm feels better, my body overall feel better. So I never stop training or working during this off season.
This journey to the big leagues and being the pitcher you want to be has not been easy.
Nope,
you've been through a lot for not seeing your family for 5 years, often on injuries. Do you think that this season, when you get to where you want to be as a pitcher, that you'll be able to look back on those times and think, you know what, that helped me get here. Yep. That helped me be better when I needed to be good.
Definitely. I always say that things happen for a reason. So it's been a lot of rocks on the road, but like I said, if we keep everything with good attitude, and then you go every day, you get 1% better. You're trying to do something different. You're trying to, okay, I need to work on this today because I need to get better at this. So I feel if you take it like that, then long term, you're gonna see like, man, I went through all this, but like you say, now I'm here where I wanna be. So I just feel that you feel proud of yourself because all the work you're being putting in, everything you're being through, but you keep going, you know. So that's what it's all about. Like if you get hurt, you get up and then you keep going, you know.
In 2022 specifically, obviously you got hurt even before the lockout ended. You were throwing a bullpen, I believe, when you felt it. And as the season went on, there was the possibility that you weren't going to pitch at all last year. You did obviously get to pitch towards the end of the season. How big was that for you as far as just feeling healthy and being able to at least throw some pitches in a big league game last year?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge because, you know, it was the same injury I had in 2018. It was, like, pretty bad because it was where the tendon connects with the muscle. So, like, it's a weird injury. Like, not a lot of people get those injuries. So, for me, it was just like, man, I need to pitch this year, you know? I'm like, I can't waste this whole year without pitching at the highest level because then, like, in your own mind, there start doubts coming to you, you know, like, how am I going to be next year, you know, because you spend a whole year without facing here, without being in competition. So for me, that was my main thing. I was like, I don't care if I throw only 5 innings or 10 innings or whatever, but I need to finish healthy and I need to finish the year out there in the big league. So the rehab process was a little slow, but as soon as we start ramping up, getting off the mound, my arm started feeling better. We just push it a little bit more. We push it a little bit more, and I was able to get out of rehab as soon as possible. So I was able to go to Chicago for the last 3 weeks of the season.
And in those 3 weeks, you were really, really good out of the bullpen. If I give you 3 scenarios, you tell me what you think of these 3 scenarios. 1, you're in the bullpen. 2, you're a starter. 3, you're the closer of the Cubs. Would you say no to any of those? Do you think you could do all 3 if you had to?
I can do all 3. I think I have proved that I can go 7 innings. I have proved that I can go 2 or I can go 1 inning, or I can go 4 out of the bullpen. And I have pitched late in games too, so I feel that with the staff I have, I can do all of those 3 things.
Does one of them give you a little more spark or a little more juice than the other if I bring those up?
Throwing the 9th inning, I feel that can be huge.
And taking that role, if that is the role that you end up being, I know you obviously came up wanting to start. The Cubs have built a lot of good starting pitching depth at this point, which includes you if need be. But being the guy that they may rely on out of the bullpen, like what does that do for you as far as like you missed most of last season, but now coming into this, like you could be, you know, along with guys like Keegan, like you could be really big, huge pieces that they count on out of the bullpen.
Yep, I feel like it's less stress on my arm as well, just throwing out of the bullpen, you know. It's going to be less inning. It's a lot of, like I said, less stress for my arm, just coming out of the bullpen. It feels good, to be honest. Like, I enjoyed it last year. Just coming out of the bullpen, like, to be honest, you don't need to have a whole report or a whole game plan on your mind. Like, if you throw 5 pitches, you can throw all of them for a strike. You go and compete right away. You just need to get 3 outs. You just need to get 6 outs. You don't need to get 18 or 20 outs in an outing. So for me, you just having that mentality to go out there as a reliever and then attack all the time is a really cool thing to do. Like that was what I was doing last year out of the bullpen. Like I was just relying in my best pitches and then just going from it.
See, I love the idea of you in the bullpen, and part of it is I think you got some swag. I think back to Pedro Strop and Javi Baez. I think you've got some of that same swag on this team, okay? And I think a reliever has a little bit extra. Do you have an idea for a walk-up song that would be good? That, you know, do you have a little something to get the fans pumped up? Because I feel like the entrance, for me, is I'm not asking Timmy Trumpet like the Mets had.
Definitely out of the bullpen, you need to have a good song. You know, a walk-up song. You need to. I have like 10 on mine. Yeah, like even the guys are telling me like what are you gonna do this year? Like everyone is just like, what are you gonna do this year? Everyone is like, how the hair is gonna look, how the clicks are gonna look, how the glove is gonna look. Like what is gonna be your walk-on song. So I'm excited for it.
So if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you pitch good.
You play good. That's all. That's all that matters.
One of the things you started posting a lot on social media this past season was, your kind of yoga-ish workouts, like balancing and all that different stuff.
So
is that something you just started doing during the season, or
I've been doing Pilates for
Pilates? There you go.
For about 5 years, and I got it from Jake Herrera.
Okay.
He was the first guy that I saw like getting into Pilates when I was down in the minors when I first signed it, and this guy was the beast. So I started like getting it from him, like through that I have learned a lot of stuff about my body, because sometimes just going to the weight room and lifting weight or doing cardio, like yeah, you're working hard, you're doing this and that, but you working also only big muscles, you're not really paying attention to the little muscles that you have in your body, and like sometimes we get injured in those little muscles, and you are like, yeah, because we don't work those little muscles as often as we do with the big ones. So just getting into that Pilates routine, I start learning more about my body. I start realizing, okay, just the breathing thing, like just breathing will help you to like reach more, saying, and then translating that to throwing as well, like just move and then move with your breathing to throw the ball with your, like feel that you're breathing the right way. So I love doing Pilates. Like I do it twice a week. We had a really, really good instructor down in Arizona. She works with the Cubs. She's great. I've been in this routine with her for 4 years now.
I'm glad that you mentioned Jake, because I think Luke can tell you used to do the Pilates right next to Joe Madden. And he's doing this. You don't have to do that anymore in the clubhouse.
It's been expanded. The clubhouse has expanded a little bit now.
Yep.
Is there any other interesting that you mentioned Jake, because I was thinking my next question was, what pitchers have you looked up to in your career? What pitchers have you learned from in your career?
I have learned from a lot of guys. I always look at Felix Hernandez because I grew up being a fan of him. Great guy. I met him and everything. But also, like, I feel from the guy that I have learned the most, it has to be Kyle Hendricks. The guy is an open book, and then if you can just go to him and talk to him about baseball, it's just great. The guy is just gonna give you everything he has. Like, and to me that's amazing, because just being around him, having those conversations, has helped me a lot to be the pitcher I am right now.
One of the guys that, when I obviously think of you, also comes to mind is Justin Steele. You've mentioned in the past that he's like one of your best friends on the team. Even though you were watching from afar, what was it like watching what he did in 2022 and start to become maybe one of the top starters in this rotation and on this team?
I wasn't surprised. He was doing it down in the minors when we were playing there. So I was just excited for him. Like, we know each other since rookie ball. Like, we signed in the same year pretty much. And we're being in this organization these past 10 years together. So I knew he was capable of doing that. It was just a matter of getting those repetitions and start getting everything to sync together. But Justin is just going to be nasty, bro. Nasty.
From the time that you signed to now, how have you seen the Cubs pitching infrastructure change? Like, how have things changed, and how much more information do you have? How many more machines do you have? Pilates, for instance.
The change it's been huge. Like, when I got to baseball, not technology at all. Just guy holding the radar gun, seeing how hard you're throwing. That's it. It was just run and lift weight. Wake up at 6 in the morning and go work out, something like that, But now just like through the years, like they start just incorporating new technology to the team. Like when I first saw the Rack Soto, for example, or the trackman. I was like, what is going on? No, we gotta see how the ball is spinning, this and that really help you because like now you can see, okay, I'm throwing all my pitches the right way. Like I'm not putting letting my wrist get behind me when I'm throwing my changeup. This and that. So through all that tech we have right now as a pitcher, like if you know how to use it, it's a great tool to have. Like because you can get a lot of information about what you throw because all the technology we have now. It have helped me a lot with in terms of cleaning my mechanic as well because we have a lab down in Arizona, 200 cameras I believe, and like it's just capture every part of your body. So like it help you to gather a better information about how you're moving to down the slope. So that's huge because before it was just the eye, like pitching over there, like the eye. A lot of we all is still using that because it's just pitching is about feeling. So like you need to keep doing the old school and the new school together. But for me, like I like using that especially during the off season because during the off season is the time you have to or you get so you can work in like a new pitch or shaping your pitches better. So during the off season, since I'm down in Arizona, I just like to get down there, get in the lab or like outside with the track soto and see like how the ball is spinning and all the stuff.
So going into 2023, I know we still have a month until everyone reports to spring training. Cubs fans, after the last couple of years, they want to see the improvements actually pay off in the win column. What can Cubs fans first of all expect from Adbert Alzolay this season, but what can they expect from the Cubs as a whole in 2023?
We're gonna compete. That's what I can tell you. I feel that we have a solid team. We have a great defense. Like our defense is gonna be really good, and I feel that we have a really really core as a pitchers. Like I feel that we have a lot of pieces now on the team that is just gonna add and add more to the team. We have really really good guys. And the young guys that are coming up, they're really really good as well. So I just feel that as soon as we get that chemistry going, and we all are in the same page, it's gonna be a really really good season for us. And then for me, I'm gonna be out there every single day whenever I need to pitch. Out of the bullpen, whenever. Like I'm just gonna give my 100% all the time.
I got a little message from our boss here. He wants me to ask a question to you.
Okay.
He says, you gave up a home run in your very first relief appearance out of the bullpen in 2019. Since then, was at Wrigley Field.
Yep.
Since then, 0 home runs out of the bullpen. Your strikeouts are way up. Do you like pitching at Wrigley? Do you feel like there's more of that to come? How does that get explained?
Wrigley Field is just a special place for me. Like it's just great to be out there and like just getting on that mound. You're just gonna compete. Like just gonna go there and attack the hitters and get out. And then when you're pitching late in the game in a good game, and then you get 2 outs, and then you see the whole field just getting on their feet and start clapping for you, this and that. It's just like you're just focused. Like I feel like I just black out, and then I just focus on whatever I have to do.
Awesome. You ready for a big season?
Yes, sir. We are.
Here we go.
We'll see you in Arizona, man.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it, and we hope you come on maybe sometime during the season. We'll have you on.
Perfect.
Would you be willing to come out?
Yep, I'm down.
Sounds
I'm always
cool.
down to talk.
Awesome.